Hey, it's Terrie Carr. Thanks for checking out my web series. I bring in the artists and we chat. New artists, classics, and everyone in between. In this episode, a legend joins me, Rush guitarist Alex Lifeson, who talks about his second release with his band Envy of None, Rush 50, and more. Let's go. I didn't get you on the first Envy of None album cycle. So I've got to do a little reset. So let me reset for just a sec here. I'm going to come in from a different perspective, I think, than probably some people that you've spoken to. It's an amazing group. It's you and Andy Curran and Alfio and Bellini. But I want to start with when I heard about this, being a female in rock radio, being a female who's always supported other women in music. Seeing that you had an amazing next gen female talent leading your band who was able to bring everything that she can bring to the table to your table, for me was a moment in time. Maiah Wynne is amazing. So first of all, thank you for doing that, for just finding the right person for this band. And tell me a little bit about, I know how you found her, but tell everybody else how you guys found her.
Sure. After Rush finished touring in 2015, I kept playing a bit and sort of doing some light writing and things like that. Andy, I'd known for 40 years. He was in Coney Hatch,
Tony Hatch, such a cool
big
band, so
big hair band of
underrated.
the 80s.
Yep.
But he also worked as our A&R guy at our management company, at our record company for 12 years. So he traveled with us, for the last decade. We were on tour and we were very close. So Andy just dropped me a line one day and said, I'm working on some stuff. Would you mind putting some guitars on just so I get an idea of what it's sounding like? I said, of course. I did some guitar tracks on a song called Liar, which is on the first record.
Yes.
I didn't spend much time. I just did kind of scratch guitars. And in the meantime, he did this. He was asked to be a judge on a talent contest, and Maiah was the contestant. And he said to Maiah, the best thing for you is to get out with a lot of other artists and learn your trade and sort of grow that way. And Maiah said, well, I Googled you and I know your background, so let's do something together. And Andy kind of laughed and said, well, that's pretty ballsy, but yeah, okay, I'll do that. He sent that track to her. She did her vocal. He sent it back. When I heard it, I told Andy, erase everything that I did. I'm going to redo all the guitars. We have to work with this woman. She is beyond amazing.
And then he
And then
says to her, like, Alex is going to put some guitars on. You know Alex Lifeson. Like, imagine, like, I can't imagine any musician, like, getting that line back to them. Most people would have freaked out. And you said ballsy indeed. And she's like, yeah, I know Alex Lifeson. Yeah, let's do this.
well, it's kind of cute because she was 19 at the time. And she knew of Rush because her parents were Rush fans. So there was music in the house. But I I I I feel like I'm working with my muse. She is so inspirational to me. She's an incredible talent, and she's bordering on the genius at times. And I don't say that lightly. Calling somebody a genius is a big deal, and she is. She has grown so much as a person, as a vocalist. She's seen so much growth during the Stygian Waves. She's she's becoming a much stronger person, and she's brilliant. So we really lucked out, and our relationship is like dancing with this incredible dance partner. When we were working on our arrangements, it starts in the beginning with the keyboards and, the drum pattern and all of that kind of stuff. But once I do my scratch guitars, it goes to her. She does scratch vocals. It comes back to me. I am informed by her vocals with what I'm going to do with final guitars. Those guitars go back to her. She's informed with what she's going to do for her final vocals. So we are constantly dancing around each other until we kind of come to the conclusion that the song is ready.
Oh.
Like a track, if you don't mind my saying, like one of my favorite tracks on the record is Not Dead Yet. And that started out as this concept from uh, Andy as we're aging rock stars. But we're not dead yet. We still have, some gas left in the tank. But Maiah took it and she applied it to herself as a woman in the music industry. And just what you just said, relating back to that, and the difficulties and the obstacles that are constant with being in the industry for a woman. And she addresses that she's full of life and ideas and power, and she's not dead yet, so get out of my way. And that's really what the message is.
There's so much visual on this too. Obviously, you're a visual guy, and every time I listen to you play, there's pictures in my head. It's been going on since I'm 12 years old. I was the girl at the doors in high school listening to Rush records with my Hemispheres jacket, and you are just my visual guitar player. And there's so much visual in this record. Stygian Waves, by the way, is out on March 28th. So we jumped right into chatting about music and Maiah and everything. So I want everybody to know that it's your second full length for the band.
Right.
And there's the tracks are just so incredible. One of my favorites, the one I'm lost in now, is Under the Stars. She just floats on top of that whole vocal part. And then you come in, there's like almost like a Ghost of a Chance feel in that song for me that I kind of get lost in.
Yeah, it's very exciting to watch it develop,
Yeah.
being inside of it. Quite often, I like to surprise people with what I do, hopefully in a good way, because I do things that I think are unexpected in songs. And that's why I really approached this whole project with both records as sort of downplaying what the traditional role of a guitar would be. It's a little more on this on Stygian Waves, a few more solos and things like that. But that particular track has a very cinematic ambient feel about it. It's very moody. There's a tension in it, and uh there's this sort of dark energy. Um, and her vocal, like you pointed out, sits on top of everything. When she submits vocals, like a vocalist normally, when you're working on a project, will do, 4, 5, 6 tracks of vocals, a main, a double, and maybe some harmonies. She submits about 25 to 30 tracks of vocals. She is so focused and she knows exactly what she wants to do. It's uncanny. It's just remarkable. And everything is completed. It's perfectly produced. It has all the effects she wants, all the compression, like everything. It's just amazing working with her. She's just something else. I love her.
She is. Yeah. I mean, so impressed with her on the first record. And then this one, I think, takes it absolutely to the next level for sure. I mean, so you guys getting together and playing together, doing something live, do we see that in the future?
Well, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah. She
It's
wants
a,
to. She would love
oh,
to,
well, she's 27, of
I know,
course.
I know. Even just a couple of one-off shows, and her confidence is just so incredible. Even like to see her in interviews or, to read some of the things that she puts down. She's so incredibly confident. You have to be playing with all of these legends, and you're calling her a genius, and you three are geniuses too. But it would be so nice to just get, I don't know, maybe a New York day to date in Canada. She can come out and like that would be so cool for us.
We're working on it. It's
Okay.
it's not so simple as just, jumping in a van and going and doing gigs.
Right.
You have to have an audience, first of all. You have to be careful financially that you're not going to lose money, at least.
Yep.
There are a lot of things to consider. But if we could do it, to do both albums, to have a couple of hours of music in a beautiful theater with a very subtle light show, it would be a stunning
I'm
evening
getting
of live
chills right
music.
now, Alex. I'm getting
Yeah.
chills right now. Don't toy with us, please. So, and two more things because I know we're on limited time. Look, just getting to pick your brain on music for me is like amazing. Where do you see Envy of None fitting into your life? Do you see this as being something that's going to continue for a really long time? Is it just in these moments when you guys all feel inspired? Is it, something you want to continue with?
I would love to continue with it, as we all do. And we've already talked about starting to work on the next record uh, by noon on the 29th. So,
My gosh, is
you
that
know,
true?
eh, well, we want to get into it because we feel like there's a lot more that we can do, and we're so excited and proud and inspired by what we created with this record. It's a beautiful sounding record, whether you are interested or not. It's a beautiful sounding record. It's really well produced, and it's lovely to listen to. I think the songs are great. There's great variety. I mean, it's just such a really great package. I'm trying to be objective about it, but it is a really great package. I know if I wasn't involved with it and this record came across my desk, I'd be playing it all the time just because it sounds great. And it's
It sounds amazing, and there's the sensibilities from all of these artists um, that you guys were all influenced by. You know, whether it's you bringing in her being a Radiohead fan early, and then her kind of singer songwriter era, and then everything that Andy brings, and then everything that Alfio brings. Like it's just an amazing sort of melting pot of all of these incredible sounds, and it's familiar yet very fresh sounding. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. It's familiar, like you've heard it before, and yet you can't place it.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do, and it kind of happens, I guess, without trying to. But that's really what this is. There's something familiar about it,
Yeah.
but it's fresh at the same time.
Super, super fresh. So before I let you go, of course, the Rush fans will kill me. Rush 50. Here we go, baby. You know, it's so funny because you mentioned 2015 or whatever. It's inconceivable to me that I was at R40. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Where does the time go? That was, I feel
I
like it was
know.
4 years ago, but I know it
Oh,
wasn't, of course, because we went through
yeah,
COVID and everything. 10 years, because I'm like, Rush 50, when is that? And I'm like,
yeah,
holy God.
yeah,
So there are all kinds of compilations with this, you know, 5 distinct fan experiences, deluxe, super deluxe, Mondo, you know, the Rush fans, we're getting all of them. You know, the Rush
yeah,
fans are getting all of them.
yeah.
So 50 years. Holy moly. And I think it's such a great time to be you. It's such a good time to be Alex Lifeson.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I had some health issues and I've really sorted them all out pretty well. I'm involved with music in a big way. I'm playing guitar at least as much as I've ever played in my life. I just feel in a really, really good place
You
despite
look
everything
incredible. You look like
around me.
timeless. I feel like I'm like time in a bottle here. I feel like Jim Croce. I'm going back in time. It's incredible. It's incredible. And Stygian Waves is out on the 28th. Alex Lifeson, what a treat. This came down my pike yesterday afternoon. I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. What do I need to do to make this happen? It has just been an honor and a pleasure to be able to chat music with you.
Thank you so much, Terry. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you for all you've given me too. Every memory of my life is lives right here.
Thank you.